If you've ever been called dull, slow, airheaded, not sharp, not the smart one, I need you to hear this clearly. That label is usually not measuring your ability, it's measuring your performance under someone else's scoring system. And today, you're going to learn the scoring system that actually runs careers, money, and influence. Because the world is full of smart people who never lead anything, and it's full of people who felt dull until they built systems that made them unstoppable. In a few minutes, I'll give you a daily routine you can follow in any career path, student, employee, creator, entrepreneur, without needing a personality transplant. But first, why do so many capable people feel dull? The real reason you feel dull. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most dull judgments are based on surface signals: how fast you respond, how witty you sound in groups, how smoothly you explain yourself on the spot, whether you look confident while thinking. But those signals can be wildly misleading. There's a cognitive bias called the fluency effect. People tend to judge information as more true or more intelligent when it's delivered smoothly and quickly. This is widely discussed in behavioral science. The short version is, easy to process feels right. So if you think slowly, speak carefully, or freeze when put on the spot, people can misread that as low intelligence, even when it's not. Open loop. In a moment, I'll show you a simple speaking structure that makes you sound sharper instantly, even if you still feel nervous. Dull often means mismatch, not lack. Let's define dull in practical terms. People usually mean one of these: low outward energy, you don't perform enthusiasm; slow processing under pressure, you think after, not during; attention mismatch, you can focus deeply on some things and not at all on others; low social dominance, you don't interrupt, you don't grandstand; bad feedback history, years of being compared, corrected, mocked. None of these are proof you can't build a career. They're proof you need a different operating system. And here's where this becomes a massive advantage. People who feel dull are often forced to learn structure, preparation, consistency, leverage, and self-management, while these smart and confident people often get addicted to one thing: being perceived as smart instead of producing outcomes. That difference decides who leads. A quick reality check. Let me ask you a question that changes everything. Have you ever met someone who sounded smart and was still unreliable? Great talker, great opinions, great potential, but nothing shipped, no results, no follow-through. Now have you met someone quiet, underestimated, maybe awkward, who always got it done? Exactly. The world doesn't reward smart. It rewards useful. Real people who were underestimated and built empires. Let's talk about David Neeleman, founder of JetBlue. Neeleman has publicly discussed having ADHD, and he didn't frame it as a cute quirk. He framed it as a real challenge and a real advantage when managed correctly. His edge wasn't "I can focus like a monk." His edge was big picture thinking, fast iteration, delegation of detail-heavy tasks, and building systems and teams that complement his weaknesses. He built companies by leaning into what ADHD brains often do well: pattern recognition, urgency, and bold action when it matters. You don't win by becoming perfect at everything. You win by building a workflow where your weaknesses are contained and your strengths are multiplied. In a second, I'll show you the exact weakness containment system you can copy even if you work alone. Now, Paul Orfalia, founder of Kinko's. Orfalia has openly talked about having ADHD and dyslexia and struggling in traditional school environments, and yet he built a company that became massive. Kinko scaled across the U.S. and was later acquired by FedEx in a deal valued in the billions. What made him stand out wasn't academic performance. It was obsessive customer focus, sales instinct, hiring people who could handle details, and constantly moving, testing, learning, adjusting. He didn't sit around waiting to feel smart. He built a business that made being smart on paper irrelevant. If you've been shamed for being dull, you may be closer to success than the gifted kid because you're forced to develop street-level competence, persistence, negotiation, momentum. Richard Branson has long discussed struggling in school, particularly with dyslexia and traditional academics. Teachers didn't predict global empire. He built the Virgin brand by doing a few things extremely well: marketing and storytelling, bold bets with high visibility, building partnerships, and delegating operational detail to strong teams. Branson's advantage was not "I'm the smartest in the room." It was "I can move, recruit, and simplify." Many people who feel dull think they need to become intellectual superheroes. You don't. You need to become an operator, someone who consistently turns ideas into outcomes. Barbara Corcoran has spoken publicly about struggling in school and having learning difficulties, and she built one of the most recognized real estate brands in New York. Her method wasn't "be the smartest." It was learn what the market actually responds to, package yourself clearly, sell with confidence, and create simple systems that scale. Practical takeaway: if you feel dull, your superpower can become clarity. You're forced to simplify. And people who can simplify tend to lead because most people can't. The pattern you're supposed to notice. Notice what these people have in common. They didn't prove they're smart. They built environments where intelligence was not the bottleneck. They used structure, delegation, tight feedback loops, and public output. So the question becomes, how do you do that without being a billionaire, without having assistants, and without needing perfect focus? Good. Here's the system. The dull to dangerous system. Practical, repeatable. Stop competing on vibes and start competing on output. If you feel dull, you're in danger of competing on the wrong scoreboard. The vibe scoreboard. Who talks faster, who sounds clever, who appears confident, who wins social moments. The real scoreboard: who ships, who follows up, who improves, who becomes reliable. Your new metric: outputs per week. Not feelings, not potential, outputs. In 60 seconds, I'll give you a weekly output template you can follow in any career path: student, employee, creator, entrepreneur, without needing a personality transplant. Externalize your brain, because memory is not the job. If you relate to ADHD traits or dullness, one thing is true: your brain is not a perfect storage device, so stop using it like one. High performers use external brains: checklists, calendars, visible notes, templates, automated reminders. This isn't a weakness, it's a professional. Practical tool set: minimum. A simple task list you trust, a calendar with time blocks, one capture method, notes app or pocket notebook. Non-negotiable: every commitment must live outside your head within 60 seconds of being created. That one habit alone will make you look 10 times sharper to other people. People who feel dull often don't lack ability. They get crushed by starting friction. So you need a ritual that makes starting automatic. The 120-second start. Open the file, write the first sentence, send the first message, do the first rep, outline the first 3 bullets. 2 minutes, that's it. The goal isn't finishing. The goal is crossing the psychological barrier. Once you start, momentum takes over. This is why smart people lose, because they wait for perfect clarity. Movers use rituals. If your attention comes in waves, stop demanding 3-hour deep work sessions. Use sprints. Sprint formula: 25 minutes work, 5 minutes reset. Repeat 3 times, then take a longer break. Your job isn't to feel focused. Your job is to return to the task on schedule. Reset rules during the 5 minutes. Stand up, drink water, 0 phone scrolling, no quick internet check. because quick checks is how 25 minutes turns into 2 hours of guilt. The fastest way to feel dull is to live in your head. The fastest way to feel competent is to get data from reality. Feedback loop. Ship something small, measure one metric, change one variable next time. Examples: job seeker, 10 applications per day, callback rate, revise resume headline. Creator, 2 videos per week, retention at 0.30, rewrite the first 10 seconds. Employee, 1 weekly deliverable, manager feedback, adjust format. Entrepreneur, 1 offer test, conversion rate, change pricing or pitch. When you live by feedback loops, you stop caring who sounds smart. You start caring about what works. The speaking or presence fix, so you stop being misread as dull. Remember the open loop?
Here's the fix. If you freeze in conversations, here's a structure that makes you sound clear without needing wit. Clarity ladder. Headline: My take is this. Reason: because. Example: for example. That's it. Most people ramble. You'll sound precise. Bonus: speak 10% slower. People confuse speed with intelligence until someone speaks slowly with structure. Then the room listens. This is not manipulation. It's packaging your thoughts so people can process them. Remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on practical rituals to help you succeed. The 7-Day Proof Challenge. If you only do one thing after this video, do this. For 7 days, build one proof asset. Not a dream, not a plan. Proof. Now here's the full routine that makes that inevitable. This routine is built for people who feel dull, scattered, or behind. It doesn't require high confidence. It requires repetition. Morning, 10 minutes. 3 outputs. Write 3 outputs for the day. Output 1, primary, the thing that moves your life forward. Output 2, maintenance, keeps your life from collapsing. Output 3, proof, builds evidence of skill. Portfolio, case study, results log. Make them small enough to finish. Examples: student, 1, outline essay. 2, attend class plus notes. 3, one-page summary to file. Employee, 1, deliver report draft. 2, answer emails twice a day. 3, document a process. Creator, 1, script 1 hook. 2, film 20 minutes. 3, upload 1 clip/test title. Entrepreneur, 1, send 10 pitches. 2, bookkeeping 15 minutes. 3, improve landing page section. Work block, 2 cycles, 2 sprints. Do 2 25-minute sprints on output 1 before you earn anything else. Rules: phone out of reach, 1 tab only. When distracted, write distraction on paper, return to task. This is how you beat I'm dull. You stop asking your emotions for permission. Evening, 5 minutes. 1 review. Answer: what did I ship today? What blocked me? What is the smallest change tomorrow? No journaling marathon, just data. Once a week, same day, same time, do a 30-minute review. Count outputs shipped. Identify the single highest leverage win. Identify the single repeating failure. Change 1 thing next week, 1 variable. Then produce 1 proof asset per week, or per month if you're busy. Examples: a 1-page case study of what you improved, a before-after, fitness, skill, design, writing, a small project shipped publicly, a documented process, how I did X. Proof assets are how underestimated people quietly pass everyone. Why feeling dull can be an advantage. Advantage 1, you're forced to build systems. Here's the advantage most people miss. If you always felt smart, you might never build systems. You'd rely on talent and last-minute bursts. But if you've been shamed, if you've struggled with attention, if you felt behind, you're more likely to build checklists, routines,
templates, accountability, and repeatable output. Systems beat talent over time. That's why smart people can lose. They often protect their identity instead of building a machine. Advantage 2. You learn humility faster, which increases learning speed. People who think they're smart often avoid looking wrong. But when you felt dull, you're more willing to ask questions, test ideas, accept feedback, and revise without ego. That makes you learn faster in the real world. And the real world is not a test, it's iteration. Advantage 3. You can become quietly dangerous. The most underestimated person in the room has a special kind of freedom. No one expects much, so you can build in silence. Skills, portfolio, relationships, proof. Then one day you're not dull, you're the person who delivers. If you're an employee, your fastest path is not being the cleverest, it's being the clearest. Do this. Send status updates before asked, summarize meetings in 5 bullet points, deliver drafts early, document process. People who get promoted are often the ones who reduce confusion. One weekly proof asset, a process doc that saves time. If you're a student, stop trying to feel smart. Start building recall and output. Do this. Study in 25-minute sprints. Use active recall, practice questions, teach back. Create one-page summaries you can reuse. One weekly proof asset, a clean summary sheet, or a solved problem set you can show. If you're a creator, creators win through volume plus feedback loops. Do this. Write 10 hooks, keep the best 2. Post consistently. Review retention, not likes. Adjust one variable each week. One weekly proof asset, a best-performing hook library, and a repeatable template. If you're building a business, business is not an IQ contest. It's offer, distribution, fulfillment, and cash flow discipline. Do this. Talk to customers weekly, ship offers fast, measure conversion, fix bottlenecks. One weekly proof asset, a case study or testimonial system. If you've been called dull, here's your reframe. You're not dull, you're understructured. And the moment you stop competing on perception and start competing on output, your entire life changes. Here's what I want you to do today, not tomorrow. Comment your 3 outputs for the next 24 hours in this exact format. Primary, maintenance, proof. Then run 2 25-minute sprints before you consume anything. Not because it's inspiring, because it works. Kindly like and subscribe to the Dull Genius channel for more.